In this video, we're going through 10 things about Pokemon card investing that have been happening which you may not know about, whether it be from single card prices to sealed product prices to population of graded cards. What are these 10 things? Well, let's jump in and find out. Alright guys, so something a little bit different today. I'm going to be going through 10 different things which you may or may not know about Pokemon card investing that has happened in the past year or just in general. Okay, now we're talking about a whole variety of different areas, not just Sword and Shield or Scarlet and Violet. We're going through a whole array of different stuff today, from single cards to sealed products to graded cards. We're covering it all. Right, let's jump in to the first one. Right, first one is Chilling Reign has the second highest amount of alternate art cards in the Sword and Shield era. Now, Chilling Reign is a set which I've been talking about so much, about how great it is and how great the artwork is. I've been talking about this for over 2 years. This set is absolutely incredible and it has a huge array of alternate arts. Now, we know in the Sword and Shield era there are a ton of amazing alternate arts. Evolving Skies has the most, but Chilling Reign comes in at number 2 with some fantastic array of alternate arts, from the legendary birds of course of the Flaming Chicken. When we take a look at the Chilling Reign set, like I say, we've got the Blaziken, which is a very big expensive card, $169. You've got the Moltres as well, beautiful stunning card, $130. Then of course you've got loads of the other cards, stuff like the Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX. We have the Zora V, one of my favourite. I love the artwork of that as well. And then of course you've got the legendary birds coming in. You've got Ice Rider Calyrex as well. You've got the Rapidash, you've got the Slow King. There are just a ton, and you've got some slightly cheaper versions. You've got the Calyrex one there, and then you've got the Tornadus, not flexing on us this time. Well, he kind of is flexing. Then we've got the Blissey as well. You've got the Ice Rider Calyrex V. These are the more of the cheaper options. And then, of course, Chilling Reign has a bunch of amazing gold and rainbow cards in it, but mainly the alternate arts is absolutely amazing. I mean, we have, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9... 10, 11, 12, 13 alternate arts in Chilling Reign. That is absolutely crazy. Next is the second most expensive booster box in the Sword and Shield era is Sword and Shield base set. I know you may be thinking, really? The base set booster box? Yes, it is the second most expensive booster box behind Evolving Skies, and it's absolutely a weird one. So Sword and Shield era base set booster boxes are currently $270. Rebel Clash is third. I know, people have been calling it trash all along, but it's doing pretty well. Now, of course, one of the main reasons why this is so expensive is because of how old it is. I mean, we go back a year, and I mean, actually, it did reach nearly $300 a box, so it has actually gone down a bit. But this is the second most expensive. Of course, Evolving Skies is the most expensive at over $500. But yeah, Sword and Shield base set. Who would have thought? I mean, I don't think Scarlet and Violet era base set's probably going to do anywhere near as good as the Sword and Shield one. But then again, Sword and Shield doing pretty well. And, you know, I don't think it will remain the second most expensive down the line. I think it'll get overtaken by things like Chilling Reign, Fusion Strike, and Lost Origin. But still, it's doing pretty well. Alright, next is Team Up. Team Up in 2023, well, in the past year, has gone up nearly 100% in value, nearly doubled its value to be $2,000 a booster box. I know, it's absolutely crazy. This very short printed set has just been breaking records, to be fair, at being the most expensive modern era booster box. That is absolutely crazy. You know, we talked about Team Up time and time again, and to be honest, this set is doing incredibly well. I mean, $2,000, it's, like I say, doubled in value over the past year. I don't expect this set really to continue at the rate it went. A lot of the Sun and Moon era boom happened last year, from the waifu cards to the alt art tag team cards. A lot of the sealed product across the board in the Sun and Moon era have been going up, pretty much all of them. I mean, Cosmic Eclipse is pushing nearly $900 a booster box, and we're seeing other sets as well, like Unified Minds and Unbroken Bonds, Ultra Prism, pushing over $600 a box. They all went up massively. Most of them doubled in value as well. So I don't expect Team Up to follow suit. I don't expect, you know, by the end of this year it's going to be $4,000 a booster box or even $3,000 a booster box. It might just start settling. I mean, if we look over the past 3 months, it hasn't really done anything. What, we're in February, so from the end there, we go back 6 months and we could see that it was kind of this jump, you know, that it had here. We looked 3 months, right? Didn't really do much. And then it did this jump where it went up by about $300 in the space of 3 months. But it was mainly, the main climb was at the beginning of last year to around summer. I would say probably around the summertime, it went up by about 70%. So it was during that boom that a lot of the other big Sun and Moon era stuff happened. I don't see it happening again, but I do feel like if you already picked one up at a cheaper price, even if you picked one up a year ago, you're doing well. If you picked up multiple a year ago, and you could sell it and keep the rest, or just keep hold of them because it's going to continue to be going up. Now this one's an interesting one. The most expensive Charizard card, raw price in the last 10 years, is the Hidden Fates Shiny Charizard. This Charizard we have struggled to find, and we've never pulled it in Hidden Fates. It has beaten out some of the other big, amazing Charizards, like the Rainbow Charizard from Burning Shadows. Both these two Charizards were going head-to-head with each other, but now the Hidden Fates one is crowned king for the raw card price. Look at the Charizard. This is the Big Daddy Extreme. Nearly $400 for this card, $382. We go back over the past year, and as you can see, this card was around 400, so it did actually go down a little bit, but still doing incredibly well. But then again, it was around 340, 350, so it actually has been climbing. Hidden Fates across the board have been going up. A lot of the single cards have been going up. Even the promo has been going up in value. It went from like $10 to $15. Everything's been going up. ETBs have trickled up a little bit, but not a huge amount. Even over here in the UK, you could pick up ETBs for around 110. So they've gone up a little bit, maybe by like 10% in the past 12 months or so, which isn't too bad compared to some of the other sets. But yeah, pretty good. And this Charizard is holding down the fort. Like I say, it was the Burning Shadows that was having the #1 spot for a while. It's quite interesting because if you go back to the XY era, even like Flash Fire and things like that, the raw price of Charizards don't come close to this one. This one is the top dog right now. Will it stay there? Time will tell. Alright, next is that Evolving Skies in the past 12 months has continued to climb by roughly 35%, going over that $500 mark. This set is just doing incredibly well. It's one of these sets where it's like, shall I buy now, shall I not? It really does depend. This is a very, very expensive set. Actually, hasn't been out very long. It really hasn't been out very long, and it's doing incredibly well. What is going on? And here we are, Evolving Skies, $514 a box. I said it would probably go over 500 at some point, and it's now broken 500. Even over the past 3 months, it's kind of gone crazy, right? This booster box did actually drop, and then it's just been going up and up and up and up and up. We go back over the past year, and we can really see that the Evolving Skies booster box has really just exploded recently, and it's, you know, it's just one of these things. Could it be 600? Could it be 700 by the end of the year? I do believe that it eventually get to $1,000 a box. I do feel like we could be looking, not quite the next team up, but definitely, you know, kind of like that level. You know, maybe similar to more Cosmic in the future from the Sword and Shield era. It's going to be tough for any other set to match this, I think. Maybe even in the Scarlet and Violet era. I don't know what. Everyone's always like, what's the next Evolving Skies? I mean, this came out during a really awkward time and a really unique time. And I just don't see anything, you know, copying this, really, unless they brought out a set in Scarlet and Violet that was just jam-packed full of insanely good cards that people want. But apart from that, Evolving Skies, top dog, $514. All right, next one is a bit of a rough one. The Miriam Special Illustration Rare has dropped 87% value since its release. Now, of course, when it came from the Japanese set, it was a very hyped up card. It was like, look, we're in the new era now. Look at this incredible looking trainer cards. And the Japanese waifu tax went crazy, and the card went massively high in value. It was like $700 or more. Insane. Of course, it wasn't going to be that much when it came out in English, but it has dropped in a crazy amount. Alright, so let's look at the Miriam. $30, $27, $26. Okay. PSA 10, $78. Not great. Not great. Now look at this. So you got the PSA 10 graded price. It was over $500. And then look at that. Bang. It just kept falling, falling, falling. And then we have the raw price. There we go. $250. And then bang. Now it's, look at that. I mean, it's just crazy. It really is crazy how much this card has dropped in value. Could you imagine picking this up even for like $60, $70? You'll just get hammered. Problem is with Scarlet and Violet base, there's a ton of it around. It's not a great set. This is the most expensive card in the set. Just buy the cards, to be honest, you know, from Scarlet and Violet base. But yeah, Miriam, ouch. Next up is going to be a graded card. And I'm talking about one where the raw card is only $50. But the graded card in a PSA 10 is $1,400. What am I talking about? Well, it is the XY Evolutions Charizard in a holo, which is, pretty pricey one. Here is the holo Charizard. Again, $50 raw, PSA 10, $1,400. Then you look at a PSA 9, $95. Look how many copies are in a PSA 9, 19,000. Look how many's in a 10, 500. Crazy, right? Crazy. Speaking of which, we are going to be doing an XY Evolutions box break on the 10th of March. Packs are still available for that, guys. So if you do want to grab some packs in our very first ever XY Evolutions box break to celebrate 10,000 subscribers, then make sure to use the link in the chat or head on over to pokejaceinfo.com and pre-order your packs for that stream. There is a unique buyers giveaway if you jump into that box break, so definitely make sure to jump in, guys, and see if you can pull this insane Charizard. And if you can get in a 10, happy days. You know what I'm saying? Happy days. 1,400. The fact there's only 500 in a 10 is nuts. Difficult card to grade. Big money. Next up is a product where it hasn't really done very well. There was a lot of hype around it. You know, prices were massively inflated. Everyone's going to say this is going to be the best product to invest in for the years to come. And it hasn't really done much. And that is the Celebrations UPC. Now, is a product which I don't have in my collection. I still would like it in my collection, but it hasn't been doing at all very well since it has come out. Now, the Celebrations ETB, here we go. Right, I've been talking about it recently, and it is a product that hasn't really done very well. It is the cheapest it has been in the past year, so now's a great time to pick one up if you don't have one. But guys, this isn't the, the holy grail that everyone talked about. Now, I said it was going to be, at the time, a good one to pick up and to hold for the long term, but it then hasn't done much. Now, this isn't really the long term, this is still short term. It's only been like 2 years or so since it's come out. I do expect this to do well in the future. Now's a great time. I don't have one yet. I really do want to pick one up just to have one. I'm not too bothered if it doesn't climb up that much in the future. I kind of feel like it eventually could be like Generations ETBs, where it's reached like $600-700, but I think that could take maybe 5-10 years at this rate. Pretty rough. Pretty rough. We talked about before the waifu craze. They don't do very well over here in English, but one full art trainer card that has been doing well, which is the most expensive full art trainer card, is the full art Lily from Ultra Prism. This is a ridiculously expensive trainer card, even in English. Now, Sword and Shield era never really touched on this type of level, really, of full art trainers, but in Scarlet and Violet, we have been getting some from the Miriam to the Ionos. So let's take a look at the Lily. Right, let's look at the full art Lily. We're looking at around about $400 or more on TCG Player. Very, very expensive. And the PSA 10 price at nearly 1.1k with 900. Well, not too bad, actually. Has actually dropped, though. We go back over the past year, and we can see what's been going on. So you can see where the waifu craze kicked in. Again, it was kind of like that summertime of last year. And look at this. Bang! Been right up to nearly $3,000. And then it's dropped down to 1k. So this is the boom. This was the craze. And that was basically what happened. We go back to the all-time, and we can really see what's went on with this card. I mean, geez, look at that. Bang. And it went all the way up. This was the waifu boom, and it has definitely gone back down where it was, pretty much 2 years ago, 3 years ago. So yeah, quite interesting, but still really expensive. And then finally, what is the most graded card in the Sword and Shield era? Oh, in fact, even in the Scarlet and Violet era, what card has been graded the absolute most? It's a Charizard. Which sets it from? Well, it is the Shiny Charizard VMAX is the most graded card. It is absolutely ridiculous how many PSA 10s of this card is out there. Now, I have one myself, and it is a gorgeous card. I absolutely love it, but man, has it been graded. Here he is, the boy, the Charizard. 17,000 or over 17,000 in a PSA 10. Oh boy, I feel like this was due to the hype at the time, and at the time when this came out, this was very expensive. We go back to the all-time, we can really see what has been going on with this card. Look, this is what I'm talking about. Look at this price. So this came out beginning of 2021 during the height of the pandemic. Everything was massively inflated. Grading was the thing, right? PSA wasn't really grading cards much at the time. So if you managed to get this graded at a time, you could have flipped it for a lot of money. $3,000 or over $3,000 in a PSA 10. Look at it now, 167. Crazy. We go back a year, and even then, it's been going down ever since. And Shining Fates, everything in Shining Fates has been going down in value. So yeah, my shiny Charizard is not exactly worth a huge amount of money, if I'm being honest. I think when I graded mine, it was worth like $250. It's dropped nearly $100 in the past year. That's actually pretty scary. So yeah, I mean, very highly graded. Has a massive impact. Is it really worth grading this? Still is, but not as much as it used to be. There you have it, guys. Those are just 10 random things, I guess. Things you may or may not have known about Pokemon. And, I mean, to be fair, some of them are really interesting. I mean, to be honest, I didn't realize Charizard was graded that heavily. And, of course, Evolving Skies is still doing very well. Team Up's doing very well. Miriam, I mean, dropping 87%. I didn't expect that to happen. I maybe thought the card may hold around $50 to $60, $70 maybe, but for it to be, you know, 25, 27 is just absolutely crazy. But if you made this far to the video, guys, and you've enjoyed it, make sure to smash the like button, make sure to subscribe for more Pokemon content, and let me know down in the comments, did you like this style of video? Is this something that you would like to see down the line for another 10 random interesting facts that you would like to know about what has been going on? Because it is actually quite interesting, something a bit different. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments. If you want to know what's going on in the single market right now, then make sure to click the video on the screen. If you watch more Pokemon content, guys, you know what to do. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Alright, guys, that's it from me in this video. Thank you all so much for watching. You guys are legends, and I'll see you in the next one.